Hey guys, it's Sterling W. So I'm going to show you how I clean and maintain my Shark stick vacuum every month. It's an awesome vacuum, by the way. I use this pretty much every other day to vacuum my floors, but you have to maintain this. So what happens is that there are filters inside the vacuum. As you can see, it's really brown and dirty this after about a couple weeks to a month of use. A lot of dust gets caught in there, and it's very fine dust, and that's great because I'd rather have it get caught there than not anywhere else. But also the dustbin, it's really dirty. I really don't like seeing that when especially I have my vacuum. So there's also the internal filter here that should be cleaned as well every month. So I'm going to start with how to clean the floor attachment, which is really simple. You just need a dime or a coin and just unlock the 3 locks on the thing. This is very important because things get stuck in here, whether it's dust or thread or whatever. Even though the roller is made specifically to not have thread, there is a lot of buildup of dust and debris here. So I want to clean it so I have maximum amount of suction power and stuff. As you can see, these fin filters are awesome. They don't really collect any hair, but in case the side parts get hair, I want to make sure I clear that off before it really builds up. I vacuum everything and the nooks and crannies of it so that it's nice and efficient and keeps it efficient. I mean, these stick vacuums are great. They're very convenient, but they are extremely efficient in terms of cleaning, but things might get caught in there, so I want to make sure it's nice and clean. And it only takes about a minute or 2 to clean this, especially when you have the vacuum right next to you. And before you actually clean the other filters, I actually just use the crevice and brush, clean it all up, then basically put into the 2 notches in the back of it and snap it back in. And I'm just using that coin again to lock it back in place with those 3 fasteners. So very easy to do that. It only takes like a couple of minutes to do it, but now it's clean. Now for this main unit, this is definitely, you have to clean it every month. I am going to take out the filters, but before I do that, I'm going to bring this over to my restroom and dust everything out, any remaining dust in the dustbin, so that it's easier to clean. Because I'm actually going to clean the inside of that the container of the dust container too, because I don't like seeing that, so that's best just clean that as well. So let's start off with what the instructions said. Now in the manual for the Shark, it basically says to just use water to rinse out these sponges, and I'm going to show you how it works. When you rinse it out just with water, some of the dust comes out, but not a lot. So not as efficient as cool. So what I usually do, I put a little bit of detergent, and this is basically dishwashing soap, and I put it on my hand and just massage it in. This actually loosens up a lot of the dirt that's embedded into the sponge. And after a few squeezes on both of the sponges and filters, it basically, all the dirt just comes right off and into the water. So I usually rinse it out a few times too, but look at that water, it's so dark. So squeeze it a few times, rinse it a few times. Now I'm just going to go ahead and rinse all of it. Make sure there's no soap residue until it's nice. And look at that, it's a lot cleaner, but there's still some residue on it. So you could run it again if you want, but I usually do it once. Now for this main container area, there's dust trapped inside and on the side, but it's very fine dust, so you don't really have to worry about large particles. What I do is I basically flood the top part and let it just drain down. And then I shake it. I shake it so that all that light dust gets caught and rinses into, look how dark that water is. It just rinses around, and then I just empty it. I do this about 2 to 3 times to completely rinse out all the dust. You won't be able to get all of it. I think you get most of it out by doing 3 times. I actually rinse backwards too. But the main thing is to get all the small particles out and stuff. I don't use soap when I'm doing this, and I basically just use it to rinse and get off most of the stuff. Now there's a stainless steel grate in the center of it. It's for the past 2 months I've been doing this, hasn't been an issue. And what I actually do is will dry all these parts off. Now here's the other filter, the external paper filter. This could also be washable too. Usually I pick off any large bits, but what I do is I just rinse it with water. I don't do soap, I don't use anything. I just rinse it with water, make sure there's no debris that's stuck on it, and I just shake it all dry. Now, all this stuff, after you wash it, you have to make sure everything is dry before you assemble everything back. So what I do is I actually use a microfiber towel and just wipe everything in the inside to help it along. I want to make sure everything is dry as much as I can on the main assembly, and so it doesn't have to take that long to dry. To make it faster, I'm also towel drying those the 2 sponges as well as the filter, so that there's no so it dries much quicker. I leave it out for about 24 hours or so roughly a day or 2, completely dry. Then I reassemble everything back. Anyways guys, it's Sterling W. I hope this tips and tricks was helpful to you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching guys. Bye bye.